Today I am mounting the main breaker box for the electrical, which is super exciting. We've not wired our house yet. We have our solar system this close to being hooked up, but nowhere to take it. So that's the project. This is the box that we went with, Homeline brand. That has the cover in it, super heavy. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. And this is what I'm going to mount. So I have marked 48 inches from the floor up the wall. We already have our holes drilled for the most part for the wire, but as I said, we haven't run any wire yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these scrap 2x4s and I'm going to mount them right there, and right there, same thing. All right, one down. And I've only put one nail in it for the time being because when I put the other one up, I'm gonna put a board across there and put a level on it and make sure that it's level, because that would drive a person a little bit crazy. All right, I've got my other ledge board up. Had to come in from this side with that because I'm right-handed. And I would have loved to use my third hand here, C-clamp, but my C-clamp is not quite big enough to bite both of those boards. So that's why that's nailed differently, but I only put one nail in. So now that I have my board that's going to go on top cut, and I'll slide it in there. I'll put a level on that, make sure we are level. When I came in from this side, it kicked the board out a little bit, so I had to actually take my hammer and whammer it back to be against that stud, and you can still see there's a little bit of a gap. So I'm hoping to remedy that. If I can't quite remedy it, not a super huge deal. Okay, we are pretty darn level there. Now I'm going to put this longer piece across somewhere here. Right about like that. All of this really is just tools so I can get the box to sit up in there. And I'm putting that backstop on so that it doesn't fall backwards through the wall when I'm securing it, because the directions say to secure it through these knockouts, which I just knocked out. So I want to make sure that everything's sturdy while I'm doing that, and then at the end I'll take that backstop off. I'll probably leave these because there's not really much reason to take them out. They're not going to get in my way down here. There's some bigger knockouts that we may use, but we're not going to use all of those knockouts, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. This is a cheater stick that we ripped on the table saw once upon a time to a 1/2 inch thickness. And the reason that we need a 1/2 inch thickness, let's see if I can show you, ta-da, is because this has to be mounted so that it'll be flush with the finished wall surface. We're using 1/2 inch sheetrock, hence 1/2 inch. So cheater stick, very handy. Just use that before mounting to make sure everything is copacetic. I'm going to use these screws to mount it to the wall because the head, you can't really see that, the head won't go through that. And they also are not so long that they're going to hang me up through the 2x4. So that's the plan. They are Phillips heads and they're teensy at that, so they're super easy to strip. Because of that, I'm actually going to pre-drill the holes. Voila, we are mounted. If we really need to take these out, super easy. I just put 2 nails in each one and I'll just rip them out of there. The box is mounted in place with 4 screws, and it is done so that it will be flush to the finished wall on this side, 1/2 inch out. And the sheetrock will cover all this. So pretty pleased. Progress. So we decided to turn our box over so that the big master breaker is on the bottom, because when we wire in through the floor up, we want that breaker to be the first thing that the wire hits. So rather than going all the way around and down, turning the box over was super simple, just 4 screws, and that's what we did. You can also see that we have some wires starting to be run here. So we've run our 12-2 wire for the GFI circuits, that's that yellow stuff, and then the 14-2 for just the regular circuits. So there's 12-2 in each bathroom and 2 in the kitchen, plus 1 for the laundry room. And then pretty much everything else is just that, that 14-2 wire. So basically, William has saved the day here. He's been the one stepping up and coming up and running this wire along with our friend Matthew. We are so grateful for all the help. Unfortunately, our first plan has not come to fruition in the time frame that we needed it to. So this is plan B, but it's working out. I haven't shown you this process of running the wire because we learned how to do it on YouTube and we didn't want to pretend to be experts in it. So it is stapled about every 4 feet. Not only is that code apparently, but it also helps take the slack out and make sure that you're not running more wire than you need to, because that stuff is expensive. We've also laid the wire out on the floor before running it because that helps to eliminate kinks and stuff like that as you're going through those holes and tight spaces up above. More as it develops.